Sports Network broadcast. Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jeremy Jones.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B. I did not want to start with the echo right off the bat, so I apologize for that. But we got Dwayne Keene in the chat and Ricky Sakat. Breaking news. The Detroit Lions fans are considered the brutest in the NFL in a recent study, and that was a study of each team's Reddit account. We use more curse words than any other fan base in the NFL. Keep that shit up. 288 curse words, followed by the Steelers fans and the Dolphins fans. The most polite team in the league is the Jaguars. They don't want to curse because they don't want to offend anybody because their team is offensive. But good afternoon, sir. Philly was in the middle of the road. They were like either 11th or 12th. But that was a recent study done. And congratulations. One lucky Detroit Lions fan found on the Detroit Lions scratch off the $500,000 winner so far. They're talking about a study about curse words on the webpage Reddit. That's it. So because we curse a lot, we're considered rude. Mm-mm-mm. Oh no, we're rude. I'm just looking at the Lions news that's out there, guys. Don't shoot the messenger. According to USA Today, Aiden Hutchinson is carrying the Lion defense with a record sack pace. Aiden Hutchinson leads the league in pressures compared to other some teams. Some teams are only have a pressure rate that's half as much as what Aiden Hutchinson has combined in his first 4 games. Let that sink in. 14 QB hurries and 3 QB hits on Monday Night Football to add into the 40 pressures he already had through 3 games. There are 18 teams with less pressures than Aiden Hutchinson right now. So while we're all crying, we have nobody opposite him. We're doing pretty good. It's mostly because of that I have faith that the defense will be fine. Do I feel like we need somebody opposite Hutch? Maybe. I think they need to call up the right guys and use them because James Houston looked absolutely washed Monday night. Gets ragged out on a play, 2 penalties on another, and didn't see him other than that. So it's not looking good for Houston. Does anybody agree with me on that take? And let's go Detroit Tigers baseball, sweep the Houston Astros, and moving on to the next round of the ALDS against Cleveland. Let's do our business. Do you think? Oh, he was at left guard. Glasgow was at center. Coyote did great at left guard. You're right. They all did great. Yes, there were 3 sacks. Yes, they brought pressure from different places. Remember, one of those was a DB sack. I can't remember if it was a safety or a corner, but one of them was a DB sack. So that being said, on to the next. What do you guys want to talk about? It's the bye week. We didn't practice yesterday, so there's no injury report to look at. We know that Iffy and Davenport's out. Brian Branch will probably be back. He passed concussion protocol. Ooh, you want to do picks? Let's do picks. All right, because I just finished doing mine last night, and I went with what I said. My picks are Jets, Browns, Ravens, Panthers, Atlanta, Falcons, Houston, Colts, New England. You're picking the Cardinals over the Niners in San Francisco. Okay. Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, and Steelers. Wow. Well, I'm not picking the Jets because until I see them fail, Minnesota has been winning. So I'm taking Minnesota in that game because that's the first game on Sunday morning. Tampa at Atlanta. I'm taking Tampa. I'm taking Minnesota versus the Jets. I am taking the Panthers versus Chicago. Points or not, I think they win. Baltimore at Cincinnati. I can't pick Cincinnati over Baltimore. I'm taking New England over Miami because everybody's over Miami right now. Washington over the Browns. I I don't I don't see Cleveland winning. Who'd you pick in that one? It looks like you picked the Browns. Wow. I don't see the Browns winning it. Washington's at home. They've been doing some home kicking. I'm taking Indy over Jacksonville. Houston over Buffalo. Denver over Vegas. 49ers over Arizona. Green Bay over the Rams. I'm sorry, that's a mash unit there. They're going to get hurt more. Seattle over the Giants. And Pittsburgh over the Cowboys. And the Chefs over the Saints. Saints will cover the point spread, but I think the Chiefs win because the refs are healthy. I got the total points in that Monday Night Football for the tiebreaker is 32. So who else? Who wants to talk? I'm waiting on you. Chat hasn't moved since Dwayne Dean said something. The person most excited about any type of trade talks is Tyreek Hill because he sees the fact that the Raiders are considering trading Devontae Adams, and he's going, "So you're saying there's a chance?" Oh boy! There's no news that he's on the trade block. Let's go blue, Michigan Wolverines. Aiden Hutchinson, Player of the Month. I agree with that. So what's up? Who do you want to talk about? Man, the chat's gone quiet. This is weird. All right, let's get back to what I can find. See if there's anything else interesting in the news. According to the most fun team in the NFL, Lions move up to second according to one power ranking, with the Chiefs in first and Minnesota in third. Most of us has a fourth, and I believe in that because we still have the same record as the Tampa Bay Bucks. and heads up has to matter. And I kind of agree with that. My power rankings are Chiefs, Vikings, Bucks, Lions, in that order at the top four. The bottom, Jacksonville, only team that hasn't won a game yet. And then you had to throw in Carolina, all the other 1-3 teams. I put the Seahawks behind Detroit because they lost to Detroit. That pretty much rounds out my top five. Now, if we do anything, it'll be defensively. I think offensively, we're fine. We're one of the best offenses the way we sit. Let's see. We got in the AFC, you have one 4-0 team in the Chiefs. In the NFC, you have one 4-0 team in the Vikings. At 3-1, you got the Bills, the Steelers, and the Texans. In the NFC, you got the Commanders, the Seahawks, and the Lions at 3-1, and the Bucks at 3-1. Everybody else is at 2-2 or less. Cardinals and Rams are both 1-3. I think they both stay at one win this week. Giants are 1-3. Do you think they can beat the Seahawks? I think they can cover the point spread. I don't think they can win because the Seahawks are playing angry and they're at home. The Falcons might be able to beat the Buccaneers, but I don't think they can. Talent for talent with their pick six guy from last week sustaining a concussion, and he's going to be out. The Bucks have been winning without Luke Gadecki. He's had a concussion for 3 weeks. He might be done, folks. Let's see. So let's see. Our division, 11 wins so far. Next closest, there's seven. There's seven. There's eight in our division, in our conference. In the other conference, seven. The conference with the most wins is the NFC North. No, he doesn't fit our culture. I'm not even talking about Devontae Adams because this is a Lions-based show. I'm talking about Tariq Hill. They had too exciting. There's trade news out there. And somebody said there's speculation the Chiefs might be interested in trading for you back, but there's nothing concrete. I mean, even in the game where we sputtered, we still put up almost 500 yards of offense versus the Bucks. Um, Granted, most of that it was rushing again in that game. We had 189 yards on the ground. So don't think we didn't try to run the ball. They just stopped us in the red zone. Red zone scoring was the problem. And that was because we went away from the run in the red zone because they stopped one the first time. I didn't like it. It wasn't a good look. So we are one win up the next closest division, which is the AFC West. Who'd have thought we'd be saying that the NFC North? Oh, wait, we did say it. We were the second best by win totals last year, and we're the best right now due to win totals. We all thought the AFC North was going to be the strongest division there, and they are falling apart. One team at 500, one team 3-1, and everybody else is just languishing there. Yep, happy bye week. Go Lions. The Lions are favored by 70. I think the bye week covers. The bye week's undefeated. They always cover. Let's see who has the bye week other than us. I think I saw that earlier. I forgot to look at it. The bye week is Detroit, LA, Philadelphia, and Tennessee. Damn, Tennessee lost. The bye week's favored. They lost before it started. Um, Philadelphia on the bye week and LA Chargers. Mm-mm-mm. So does Brad go out and get somebody this week with the extra week off for him to practice that defensive end, or does he call up guys and finally put Houston where he belongs on the practice squad? That's my biggest question this week is what we do by tomorrow. Houston was our worst rated player by PFF, and it wasn't close. The next closest person on defense had like a 49. He had a 28 point something. It was awful. Two penalties and pancake and ragdoll. But you can't even call that a pancake. He got absolutely demolished by that backup left tackle. Yeah, a 28 on PFF. Where'd you see that? Oh, I was like, Ragnow, don't start that shit. Ragnow will probably be back this coming week. Um, it's a partially torn pec. It's considered a grade one. It'll heal with rest, so they rested him all week. He didn't practice. I was about ready to flip my cap, Leonard. Don't screw with people in the chat like that. Don't be clickbait sport. Ugh. Hmm. According to Scott Thompson of Fox News, who got his source from Ian Rappaport, Devontae Adams wants to either go to the New York Jets or the New Orleans Saints. So he wants to be reunited with his old QBs. That's it. I would hate it. I think it would ruin the locker room. I think the chemistry would be gone. He's a target vacuum. He takes targets away from everybody. If he doesn't get targets, he cries. So I don't want that. It's the same reason why I didn't want Michael Thomas. It's the same reason why I didn't want anyone that anybody was talking about. I didn't want target vacuum. I didn't want that. We have enough target vacuums already. The views and opinions of Jeremy Ballrick Jr. are that of the GCARC. If you need to look that up, it's Genesee County and then look up the ARC. Dad, would you bring back wide receiver Derek Williams and trade St. Brown? The answer is no. He didn't say which one he wanted to go to first. Now remember, he wanted out of Green Bay to get away from Rodgers to go to Derek Carr, so I think Derek Carr is his number one target now because he was there for a year with them. They let Carr go, and he's been upset ever since, off and on. Mitchell Sledge, thank you for the comment about the Tigers. We had your old manager who knows 70% of your roster and how to pitch them, so I think that was the difference. That's why we were able to get away with winning with the bullpen day. That's my honest opinion on that one. Good to see you though, bud. Been a minute. Glad to see you back in the chat. He goes to the Saints, they become a contender above everyone. Aiden Hudson's defensive player of the month. Jared Goff is offensive player of the week. Let's fucking go. Dwayne Keane, I never take his thoughts seriously. When Vildor and Dorsey are on the field together, who's sitting out? That's probably because CD3 and Amik had to go out to rest on the same play. That's the only reason I can see that happening. If he being on the IR is the main reason why you see either one of them, in my opinion. That and Branch was out, so we had to see a rotation of Brandon Joseph and Lauren Strickland at the strong safety position. Kirby Joseph did what Kirby Joseph does. Because remember, Amik Robertson was our nickel. He had the third most snaps of any corner. CD3 was on the field basically the entire game, and it was offensive to watch. I'm sorry. Everybody else can get mad at Terrion Arnold when he's a rookie cornerback. I'm more mad at CD3. He had more penalties, more yards against, better QBR against. He's more cooked than Cam Sutton was at this point last season, and I hate it. Nope. Any feedback on Strickland? Um, it was his first chance to play. He's normally a sure tackler. He missed a few that probably would have stopped some of those long Kenneth Walker and Geno runs. But other than that, he was just okay. He was serviceable. He was the backup. Brendan Joseph, on the other hand, ranked very highly. He had like a 69.8 DFF ranking. Um, he was below the 65 mark. There wasn't many that were below there. Wingo, Houston, um, Pascal was sufficient, not great. Aiden Hutchinson was the best defensive player ranked despite not getting a sack. And that was due to his win rate on the pressures. Every time Wingo was in, they had to stunt Hutchinson to the inside, which left a gap there because I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again. Mikai Wingo does not have the lateral agility to be able to stuff the run. He's a better pass rusher when his bull rush is working, but he's smaller. Crosby has a no trade clause. Can't unless he says he wants out. There's no trade. I think it's gonna be a call up. I still think it's gonna be a call up. I think they put Houston out there because of how battered that O-line was, along with, we really didn't need Houston to be good, but we wanted them to show off. You know what I'm saying? Because he's that guy that should have been opposite Hutchinson. No, he wouldn't. They signed the coach he asked for. He said, "If you sign that coach, I'm not going anywhere, Orlando." You're reading into what he said before he signed his contract. He literally said, "If they hire Antonio Pierce as their head coach, I am not going anywhere." Those were his words. I'm just not a homer. I'm a realist. I listen to everything. Those words don't get said casually. He said that right after we played them last season. Fred Peterson. Orlando's up to starting trade rumors about Max Crosby again. Great. I swear, every time anyone goes on the trade block, it comes back to who you wanted instead of who's on the trade block. Who's on the trade block is Devontae Adams. That's it. There's no rumors that he wants out. None. Not a one. He already said, if I became a free agent, I would talk to Detroit. Keywords, free agent. That was his words. Adams asked to be out. There's the difference. It's not a fire sale. Adams doesn't want to be there anymore because his quarterback that he traded to be there is gone. And I said this would happen last season. I mean, I swear sometimes people read too much into situations. It is what it is. Adams a diva. He wants to be back with Carr or Rodgers in that order. The only problem is New Orleans has to massage that cap like it's Deshaun Watson after a Texans game. Amen, Fred Peterson. But he's saying, well, if they do that, are they trading Max Crosby? That's up to Max Crosby. Until he says he wants out, they can't trade him. That's the problem with all of this. He literally has to says, let me go. So until that happens, it's not happening. So unless, oh yeah, because Getsy sucks. The defensive coordinator isn't doing his job. Good Lord, he's talking about his coaches and himself. I understand it. If he gets fired, guess what? Max Crosby will waive his trade clause. For the fifth time in NFL history, a team has had two players throw and catch a touchdown. Yes, sir. I'm just tired of debating about a player that's not on the trade block. That's where I'm at. Max Crosby is not on the trade block. until you hear somebody's on the trade block, they're not on the trade block. And the rumor is out there in New York, and I understand why he is because he's upset with them. But Hassan Reddick has turned into an absolute locker room cancer. He drags that team down, and now they're traveling all the way to London. Guess what? I don't see them winning this week either. Much as I hate to say it, Minnesota's 4-0 win in London. They've got the best record there. Regardless what their team record was going there. Raiders suck, definitely should. Just because they have the player you want, you can't wish ill will on somebody. I don't I don't get it. Where they made the mistake was taking Minshew and not Joe Flacco. Sorry, not sorry. I said it. The same reason why I'm taking Indy to beat Jacksonville. That roster has no reason losing to some of the teams it's lost to. Jacksonville is trash. They paid a quarterback that hasn't been good. I know. That's why I don't do mainstream media except I pick and choose which stories I follow because I look at the credibility of the source. It's okay. It came up on this end. I'm sorry, JB. I'm gonna say it. I hate that the mainstream sports media pushes stories like this. It's an easy story. The dumb fans fall for it. I know. I don't know what was said before because I don't see it. I'd probably have to look at it on YouTube. Which also means I have to turn my volume down first so we don't get an echo without me hitting the button. No comments on that side. Imagine that. Oh, the one I want nothing. It's because you did all caps. All caps is a flag on YouTube. They automatic. It's anytime you do all caps, it's a flag. I don't think so this year. Um, Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley are close, but they're both ineffective at times too. Um, that truck stick might go down as the angriest run of the season. He made Witherspoon cry 3 times on that play. Yeah, all caps is one of those things that gets flagged by some of these social sites. So I got flagged already once today because on Ken and Ken this morning I said Dallas roster is more sus than a P Diddy party because I capitalized Diddy until they start getting a little consistent. I can't pick Dallas to win from one week to the next. The X party. Who's that we're talking about that used to be a Sparty? Oh, K9. Yeah. K9 is good, and I'm not gonna lie, I wanted him, but he was taken way too early. I thought I didn't think he was worth that early of a pick, in my opinion. And my opinions have been wrong before, and they'll be wrong again because I'm not perfect. I'm human. But I do think if we make a move for anybody, whether free agency or anything, it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. I didn't know Witherspoon ever played for Michigan State. AJB, been listening. I hear you on not being able to pick Dallas. Doing my pick'ems now and took Pittsburgh. Yep, I'm I'm not having a great season, but I'm 2 wins above. The chat's a minute behind, so I'm sorry. I wouldn't post it again. Nope, but I can say it because they can't stop me from saying it. And I still think we're going to end up just grabbing somebody out of free agency. We made some moves, we made some trades. Witherspoon graduated from Illinois. I didn't know he went to. Yeah, Devin Witherspoon never went to Spartan. Never went to Michigan State. He went to Illinois all 4 years in college. Sorry, not sorry. You're incorrect. The no fly zone was wasn't that Ward and Trey Waynes? That was a long time ago. You're right. I am right though. It was Denzel Ward and Trey Waynes that was the no fly zone, right? With Sparty. Yeah, Witherspoon was Kirby's teammate. It's one of the main reasons why I thought we were going to take him. But the Seahawks took him at 5, which changed everything, and it proved my point because immediately within a minute and a half of them picking Witherspoon, we traded back with Arizona. I'm picking the Broncos because I trust them more. Adams isn't playing and Crosby isn't playing this week, so I'm taking the Broncos. I trust Bo Nix more than Gardner Minshew. Cardinals versus 49ers. I can't trust the Cardinals to win anything, so I'm taking the 49ers. They're not a good team on the road. Did he sound new? Yeah, I've seen that one. It is funny, Fred. Thank you. And everybody says, but the Jets defense only gave up 10 points. They forget the Broncos defense only gave up 9 versus Aaron Rodgers in his house. Think about this. Aaron Rodgers is looking like he should have retired after that Achilles, in my opinion. He's had one good game, 3 bad ones. I can't trust him to be good. And right now, Love is 0-2, and Malik Willis is 2-0 with the Green Bay Packers. If you told me you thought that would happen, I'd shake your hand, but I said he'd be rusty. I said I'm taking Green Bay, but I think the Vikings win last week. Does everybody remember me saying that? I went against my head and picked with my heart, and I shouldn't have did that. Always pick with your head. I literally said what would happen. And Love did not look fully healthy until they stopped rushing him because he didn't have to worry about his leg getting hit. As soon as they went to that prevent defense and just rushed their front four and he wasn't under pressure, he was electric because Love thrives against zone. If Arnold could improve significantly, hey, the Vikings see. I am going to say this now. Arnold doesn't really need to improve. It's CD3 that needs to improve. Yeah, they are legit. Until they lose, I'm not picking against them. And it has to be a loss that isn't the defense's fault. Let me throw that out there because that defense is legit, even if they have a bad game. It has to be Sam Darnold looking like old Sam Darnold before I pick against them. Go look it up. Right now, Arnold has a better QBR than any other CB across from him. CD3 has given up more yards. Valley Sports is going under in Michigan, is why. They're going belly up. And it was due to the 2 months that they damn near went bankrupt. Fuck the Vikings, but I think the same way, not picking against them. And they're 4-0 in London. This is not the week to pick against them. Aaron Rodgers is looking like the Aaron Rodgers we beat the crap out of in week 18 in 2022. So, no. Yep. Terrion Arnold has given up half the yards CD3 has. CD3 through 4 games has given up more yards than Cam Sutton, and people are worried about a rookie cornerback that's developing and getting one less penalty every time he's out there. CD3 has more penalties through this part of the season than Terrion Arnold, and everybody's focused on the rookie. I don't get it. CD3 has 12 penalties to Terrion Arnold 8. Oh, I was shocked that Gino turned his career around. Dave Canales did wonderful work 2 years ago with him. Last year, Shane Waldron was exposed as not a QB whisperer because Gino regressed. Now he has a different OC, and he's playing to Gino's strength. And Gino is just athletic enough to get out there and evade pressure. He's been this his entire career. What he didn't have was the space between the years, which Dave Canales helped him with. Flashback to last season. Baker Mayfield bounced to 3 different teams within the season. You guys remember that? Went out there with the Rams, beat the 49ers on one day on the plane of having the playbook, got there on a Thursday, played on a Sunday, and won with no practice. Then goes and damn near beat Seattle, if not for a bad call. They'd have won that one. I understand that, Moonscar Blade. Thanks, Dad. Good to see you. Breaking news.
Audio Jungle.
Smoking Dad entered the chat. PFF is wrong. CD3 is our worst corner right now, giving up the most yardage and the best passer rating against. I can't even hide it. It's awful. CD3 makes Vildor look good, in my opinion. Rakestraw hasn't played but one game at slot corner when Amik was hurt. And yes, he had a great game. Rakestraw is our best rated corner right now, but he's only played like 20 snaps. I can't call Rakestraw our best corner. That's the little things that people don't look at. Yep, CJGJ has been ass. And that's that time where we do the division rankings. Top or bottom, guys? Put it in the chat. All right. Fuck the Packers. It's FTP at the bottom at 2-2. No conference wins and a divisional loss. In third place, Fuck the Bears. FTP 2-2 with a conference win. In second place, in the fourth best team in the NFL, it is your Detroit Lions with a 3-1 record with 3 conference wins, 1 conference loss. And first place can go get skull fucked at 4-0 and the second best team in the NFL at this point. Yes, back 'em all. I just had to have some fun with it. I love the voice, the reverb voice. I don't care. He could have had 9 penalties in that game on DK. He got away with 4 of them. Oh, yeah. That is going to be a great game. And last but not least, let's talk about our paying sponsor. Brandon Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. Where? Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Used tires starting at 40 bucks and up, depending on size and condition. And new tires, call to get your quote, 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself. Mention this ad, get 10 bucks off unless your name is James Burgess, who got the 25 bucks off his set. But the Tigers, yes, let's go into that. AJ Hinch managed against his old team and got a slight taste of revenge. We played Cleveland what one time down the stretch. I don't care. He's done better at other places versus DK. Houston tied up and my heart dropped a little. Houston was awful. A 28 PFF grade. I'm gonna put it out here right now so you guys can all hear it. Jim Brown before literally came out not a couple of years back and said Barry was the best running back he ever watched, and was the only running back he said was better than him. So for me, my top five: Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, Walter Payton, Lawrence, uh, uh, LT Tomlinson, then Gale Sayers. That's my top five. Oh, gotcha. I wasn't even worried. Not when Josh Hayden, their mid reliever, makes 19 million a year, and our 13 rookies combined equal 18.8 million. Just for you, Moonscar. Fuck the Guardians. Well, this has been a great day. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. Maybe tomorrow I'll start doing like top five QBs ever, top five. I did running backs. Then we'll do top five every Friday. I'm going to do a